AM 1160.
Oh, yeah, God's economy, totally different, totally different. I mean, everything about religion is saying you got to jump through these hoops. Jesus says, come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden. I'll give you rest. And then we'll go on a ride together. The world looks at certain people that are born into it and say, defective, wrong, not good. They look down. Maybe they pity. God looks at those precious ones and says, there's a masterpiece here, and if you'll take the time to see what I've done, look out. Your life will be changed. That's what my guest surely believes. Let me tell you about him. Justin Reamer and his wife, Tamara, they got some news many years ago, several years ago now, about their little one, Elisha. And Elisha was with Down syndrome. Now, after I'm sure their world was rocked radically, God ultimately used this precious little child to ignite a passion in Justin and his wife Tamara that has resulted in a power pack ministry that has got a vision for seeing what the world would look at and go, oops, or uh-oh. And they say, no, God says, oh my goodness, what a beautiful thing. Let me bring them in. Justin Reamer, good to have you with me today on 180.
Thank you, Carl. Good to be with you.
I am in love already with your ministry, your heart, the tenor of the thing, your doctrinal statement, and it's really cool how you got on here. You've got a champion of this of your ministry that I've known for a number of years who just said, you've got to get this guy on your show. Justin, it's really good to have you here. And what started this passion in your heart? It wasn't just the birth of your child. This is more of a Christocentric thing, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, much of the genesis of it was when Eli was born, and God had rocked us in a unique way that when we were given the diagnosis of Down syndrome when he was just 45 minutes old, he had so graciously cultivated in us an acceptance of that diagnosis that goes beyond description for us. That the only tears that were shed were tears of not of tragedy or even of God's judgment that often accommodates, comes along with that diagnosis, but tears of the fact that God had chosen us to be a steward of this child, and through that we knew right away he was actually born in Anchorage, Alaska, and at that time we were hoping to be missionaries in Russia. And we knew right away when Eli was born that God had brought the mission field to us and that we were to now minister to this new community of people, the community of the disabled.
Yeah, that is so awesome, Justin, and I'm so proud of you, man. God has done an unbelievable work in and through you. When a parent gets the news, I mean, there must be, there's got to be an emotional roller coaster involved in this, even beyond what you felt and really sensed from the Lord immediately. There must be even a spiritual war there going on, isn't there, Justin?
Oh yeah, and it will show up differently from family to family, but there's definitely a battle going on, and a lot of it is on the level of trying to understand who God is in the midst of what we perceive as abnormal or broken. But really coming back to helping, what we do now is just helping people to center on the fact that Jesus still reigns. He still sits on the throne, and that he's in charge, and he has a purpose in all things, and that really we're all broken. We're broken by sin. So the playing field is level. We just have a more physical manifestation of disability in our homes.
Yeah, that's right on. Justin Reamer's my guest. He's the founder, director of the ElishaFoundation.org. That's ELISHA, the ElishaFoundation.org. If you're listening to this going, man, I want resources, I want to be involved, that's where you go. Justin, Alaska's an interesting place because you come to the lower 48 and still in a incredibly networked world that we live in, people have such radical misconceptions of Alaska. And I'm constantly kind of, explaining a little more clarity about what really goes on up there. In like manner, people that do not have exposure to Down syndrome have misconceptions. What are those misconceptions, Justin?
Oh, wow. There's all sorts of them. I think I think there's a misconception of some sort of underperformance that a child with Down syndrome or any disability really can't meet up to anyone else's standard, or can't be thought of to have simple educational goals or bigger goals. Right now, my son is getting ready to do the Mount Everest Base Camp trek. We leave in a week to go to Nepal to spend 16 days and 70 miles on a trail topping out at 18,000 feet. Well, in most places, my son wouldn't even be thought of being even remotely able to attempt that, let alone probably be successful in doing so. And so there's all sorts of limitations that come with people's perceptions of disability. And I think a significant one, too, in context of your show even, is trying to encourage people that we still need to speak truth in the gospel into the lives of those with disabilities. We don't hold that back. We should be pouring that into these kids regardless of what we feel they can understand or not.
Yeah, and I think that's what's interesting. You've just blown away a couple conceptions that I think subtly I would have. And that is, you think Down syndrome, you think an inability to maybe physically perform. Well, you just blew that one out of the water, didn't you, Justin?
Well, that's I guess so.
I mean, well, come on. I mean, the fact is Elijah's going with you on an incredible trek that most able-bodied people that go to work every day that don't have Down syndrome couldn't possibly attempt, and he's going to go do it. With regard to cognitive ability, just be candid with me. Where does Down syndrome fall in there? What are the limits? And are we leaving them short of the limits that God's given them, thinking that they can't do so much?
Yeah, I think so. I think we do leave them short oftentimes. The spectrum for the cognitive ability of those with Down syndrome it's fairly broad. There's greater severity in some folks, and their developmental level may not exceed maybe a second grade level. And then there's other people with Down syndrome who have gone to college and graduated from college and are active in so many ways in the community. And there's a boy in Albuquerque, New Mexico, that has a restaurant, and it's called The Place for Hugs, and he gives everybody that comes in a hug. So.
No, that is just awesome. When I hear stories like that, I mean, it lights us up. Well, Justin, here's what I want you to do. Justin Reamer's my guest. He's the founder, director of the Elisha Foundation, ELISHA. We're going to put a link up on Facebook and Twitter for you, our listener, to go check it out. I want our listener to get a clear understanding of what in the world your organization exists to do, because you resource people with special needs of all kinds, don't you?
Yes. Yeah, so our mission as a ministry and organization is pursuing Christ-centered transformation in the lives of those impacted by disability.
Awesome.
And utilizing our programs to provide needed biblical, spiritual, and physical resources. So we work to engage the church, to help the church be mobilized to the disabled in their own communities through our respite programs. We provide family retreats at no cost to families with special needs kids. And we've started doing some international work in Ukraine and expanding into some other areas, just ministering to disabled orphans and families with special needs kids.
What's going on in Russia right now? Are you tracking that? And do you think that that's a lot of bloviating, or is this putting at risk our ability to really invest in the lives of little babies from Russia?
I think there is a lot at risk there. I think there's plenty of things going on politically there that complicate the situation, and a lot of chest pumping. But I think there is a risk, and that's why I think it's important that when we look at cultures not our own, cross-cultural missions, that we need to make sure that we're provisioning the indigenous people with the tools they need to continue ministering to the least of these. Yeah,
really good, really good. Justin Reamer's my guest. He's the founder of the Elisha Foundation.org. If you think about two things that we could be praying for you on today, we call this Freedom Friday, and you, our listener, I want you to literally, as Justin shares, you're hearing a humble man, a man that's been deeply, deeply touched by the grace of God himself, and now with a child and then a foundation that follows it that wants to proliferate this message. Give us the big two prayer requests, things that you really want people to take before God right now, Justin.
The primary one, I would say, for us as a ministry is that that more of God's people would have a passion to reach out and engage those with disabilities. That's a primary one. And then second to that in particular our organization, is that in all the things that we do, that God would continue to grow us, but that he would be central in every aspect of our ministry, that our ministry would truly be gospel-centered and Christ-centered.
Yeah, that is so good, because I got to tell you, Justin, at the end of the day, any kind of a ministry, a not-for-profit, any effort that doesn't have a Christocentric bearing, really, we're scratching the surface, but the gospel is the core of transformation. I appreciate your heart for this, your passion for this, your wisdom and your maturity shines through over the airwaves. It really does. Justin Reamer, everyone. The name of the website again, theelishafoundation.org. Theelishafoundation.org. We'll put it up on KC180.com. It's there right now. KC180.com and on our social media, Facebook and Twitter. Justin, thanks for being with me today. It's been a really big blessing for my heart, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. I appreciate being on.